Hello everyone. So today we will be discussing about AWS Lightsail service and we will be looking at the questions which might come in AWS certification. So let's start with the first question. A developer needs to launch a simple web application quickly with a predictable monthly cost. Which AWS service is the most appropriate for this requirement? EC2, Lightsail, Elastic Beanstalk or ECS? So the correct answer is Amazon Light Sale, right? And I'll give you the explanation why. Because Amazon Light Sale is designed for simple, predictable web workloads providing a bundled low cost service, right? So I'll put the answers here, right? So you can later refer on. So and it's a fixed price model that includes compute storage and networking. Right. Coming to the next question. A startup is running a small website on AWS Lightsail. As site grows, they need to migrate to more complex AWS service, which is a key advantage of Lightsail that support this. It uses a different set of APIs than standard AWS services. It cannot be upgraded. You must start over. It is a part of AWS ecosystem and resource can be paired with VPCs. It requires an enterprise level support plan to manage. The correct answer is Lightsail resource exists within the AWS infrastructure and can be connected to other AWS services like RDS VPC via VPC peering, right? So C is the correct answer, right? So here is the correct answer. Now coming back to question number three, which of the following is not typically a feature included in a standard Lightsail instance bundle? A fixed amount of SSD storage, a set of data transfer, automatic multi-region failure, D, a static IP address. So the correct answer is C. Lightsail bundles are simple and do not include complex automated multi-region failure features which would require more robust configuration like route 53 or ALB like standard AWS. So the correct answer is C. Now coming back to question number 4, a user wants to host a WordPress site. They want minimal configuration time and a simple interface to manage it. What is the best service? So the best service is AWS Lightsail, right? AWS Lightsail offers blueprints, including one specially for WordPress, which automates the process and the setup process, right? So C is the correct answer. Question number 5: how are Amazon Lightsail cost managed compared to Amazon EC2? A light sale uses pay as go model per second. Light sale uses a simple predicted monthly pricing plan. Light sale is free for first 5 years. Light sale is more expensive because it is managed. So the correct answer is B. Explain. Light sale is famous for its simple and all-in-one monthly prices that includes networking, storage, and compute. Right. So. Um, Coming to next question, which statement best describes the shared responsibility model regarding AWS Lightsail? AWS manages everything, including your application code. The user is responsible for managing the underlying server hardware. The user is responsible for OS security updates on a standard instance. AWS manages the underlying infrastructure, but the user is responsible for the application and its data. So the correct answer is D. Even in Lightsail, the user must manage the OS patches and application level security, while AWS manages physical hardware and virtualization layer. Right. Coming to the next question, you have a Lightsail instance and realize you need to scale the application to handle global traffic. with complex auto scaling, but you should do. Increase the bundle size of the current Lightsail instance, migrate the workload of Amazon EC2 application load balancer and auto scaling groups. Use the Lightsail global scaling button. Use multiple Lightsail instance in different region without a load balancer. So the correct answer is for this one is Lightsail is for simple workloads. Complex production grade scaling requirements are the domain of fully featured AWS service like EC2 and ALB, right? So yeah, so B is the correct answer. Which feature in Lightsail allows you to move your current server state to an Amazon EC2? So snapshot export, instance migrate service, direct S3 upload, cloud formation import, right? So let's see what is the correct answer. The correct answer is Lightsail allows you to create a snapshot of your instance and export it to Amazon EBS backed by AMI, which you can use to launch an EC2 instance. So A is the correct answer, right? Okay. Now coming back to the next question, what is the primary purpose of blueprint in AWS Lightsail? To create a diagram of your architecture to provide pre-configured template for common stacks like LAMP or WordPress to act as a security group firewall to monitor disk IO. So the correct answer is B. Blueprints are pre-configured OS or application images that make launch your application configuration in one click experience, right? So B is the correct answer. Last question, can you use AWS IAM to manage access to your AWS Lightsail resources? No, Lightsail has its own completely separate identity system. Wrong. Yes, you can use IAM policy to control which user can access manage Lightsail resources. Only for read-only access, only for administrative. So B is the correct answer, right? So yeah, these are some type of questions which you can face while you are doing AWS certification exam. And if you need this Excel sheet, you can comment down box below with your email ID, and I will mail you this set of question and answers. So thanks for watching and share these videos with the ones who want to prepare for AWS certifications. Thanks.